What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savvy, and welcome back to the Savvy Show. And y'all know the vibe. We got another SCP. Dr. Bob just dropped this one. It seems pretty interesting. It is literally SCP-021 Skin Wyrm. So far, like in different places in the world, that would mean a dragon or Wyrm. It's spelled differently. However, the thumbnail don't look like a dragon. So I'm kind of confused what this is about to be. Maybe it's like an infection that turns a person into a dragon. Who knows if it even means a dragon, but we're definitely going to find out today. So shout out to Dr. Bob for bringing the heat and for your boy to react to it. So link in the description for that. But if you guys do enjoy my reactions and what I cover on the channel, please remember to smash that like button. It means the world and takes less than a second. And also smash the sub button if you're not already part of the family. There's a big portion of you guys watching the videos that haven't subbed. I know we're pretty small right now, but your boy goes balls to the wall. We have a blast here, and I'd love for you to join the family and have a good time with me. It's gonna be a great time. So yeah, feel free to hop on in and let's get this show started. So without any further ado, remember to turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss an upload. I post multiple times a day, frequently, so it behooves you to stay plugged. So with that all out the way, let's get this show started. Alrighty, SCP-021 Skin Wyrm.
You and your friends exit a club and step onto the darkened city street. Everyone is in a happy and joyful mood. It's been a great night.
Why are they doing the Quagmire like type shit? Bro, are they geeking that heavy? How good was this night, bro? I see you got the chains on too. Like, yo, they're out and about.
That you'll be reminiscing about with your friends for years. As you walk and laugh together, you don't notice the large man standing in front of you and almost run straight into him. You offer a quick apology and move to go around the man, but he steps in front of you, blocking your path.
Bruh.
All of your friends grow quiet, and you finally take a good look at the man.
That's on you.
The man towers over you. He is huge, with giant, elaborate tattoos wrapped around his bulging muscles.
Damn.
That it looks like he may have gotten to cover up the numerous white patches of skin that are missing pigmentation. His face, though, is bright red and filled with rage. The man begins screaming at you, asking why you ran into him and calling you horrible names.
What the
Again,
hell?
you try to apologize, but the man just keeps yelling as if he can't even hear you.
He's getting the one
He
too.
pushes you hard in the chest.
Oh, hell
and you
no.
fall back into one of your friends. Another
Yo.
steps forward in an attempt to defuse the situation, but the man punches him in the face, breaking his jaw.
Damn, that
A
dude
melee
flew.
ensues, though it could more accurately be described as a massacre. The man has gone ballistic and punches, kicks, and bites your entire group of friends. His strength seems unreal, even for someone as big and muscular as him. A large bouncer runs over in an attempt to break up the...
Okay, I'm assuming this dude is like infected somehow or is mixed up with the SCP, because this is kind of crazy, bruh. Like, what is going on?
The fight, but even he is no match for this tattooed giant. He's been on the ground since he shoved you, watching this insanity play out. But now, with everyone else lying on the ground bloodied and bruised, he turns his attention back on you. You try to scramble back to your feet, but he's upon you in an instant. He picks you up over his head and tosses you into some trash cans.
Some WWE shit.
Unconscious. You open your eyes to see the man standing over you. You can feel the blood from numerous cuts on your face.
That's a deep cut. Yo, what is going on?
Running down into your eyes and mouth. The man picks you up with one hand and holds you by the throat against the wall.
Ooh.
He's still in a rage, breathing hard,
The
clenched
foam.
teeth, bits of white foaming in the corners of his mouth as he brings up his other hand and curls his fingers into a fist. All you can think is this it?
Is this the
But
end?
then you notice something. The tattoo that snakes down the man's arm all the way to his hand is moving. The long serpentine dragon is writhing
It's
and
changing
slithering
hosts.
as if it's alive. Is this really happening? Or just a result of the concussive trauma you've received? There's no time to consider it further, though,
is it not?
as the man pulls back and throws a punch right into your face. You can feel your nose flatten and break from the impact, which understandably distracts you from the bizarre occurrence that follows. Right as the man's bloodied fist makes contact with your face, the dragon on his arm seems to swim off of his skin and onto yours, like a snake moving through water.
Oh, dragon! Okay, perfect. I was wondering, I'm like, is this like some kind of tapeworm or parasite? Because Wyrm means like dragon or a type of dragon in other cultures and stuff. So it's cool to see it's like some variation of a dragon. We don't know. Hopefully we get more because this looks pretty cool so far.
his fist onto your face before sliding down your neck onto your body. There is a searing pain as it moves, like you're being poked with needles over and over.
Oh my
You
god.
scream from the pain, blood from your broken nose pouring out of your mouth. The man drops you to the ground and steps back. He no longer looks to be in a rage, and instead looks confused. He looks down at his skin to find that
Typical.
the tattoo is completely gone. A look of unbridled joy comes over his face,
Wow.
and he turns and runs away into the night, laughing with glee as he does so.
I'm just kind of confused. There's no cops or anything. I know the security guy couldn't hack it, but this guy's literally just beat up 3 dudes in the middle of the fucking public, and no one's saying anything. Like, I know it's nighttime, but damn. And this dude doesn't even care. Like, he's confused, and he sees 3 people beat up. Hey, at least he's free. Maybe it was a pretty bad curse. Who knows?
You are left whimpering in pain, curled up in a ball in the pile of trash where he left you, the dragon tattoo now covering your entire body. As you have probably already guessed, this is no normal tattoo. No, this is an anomalous creature that is known to the SCP Foundation as SCP-021, but it also has another name, the skin worm.
Oh, they pronounce it skin worm? I guess it's pronounced skin worm because it's like the skin, but Wyrm, that's how they spell it. It should be pronounced Wyrm. So that should be like a dragon. Maybe Dr. Bob is just pronouncing it like that.
SCP-021 is an obligate parasite that uses the human body as a host. Its visual appearance is in the form of a large, elaborate tattoo of an oriental-style dragon,
Damn.
which covers roughly 1 square meter of its host's skin. What makes this tattoo truly unique is that it is fully animated and moves on the host's body just as a real animal would.
That's
though
crazy.
in 2D like a cartoon playing out in real time on their skin. The movement of the tattoo causes horrendous pain for the host.
I could
It has
imagine.
been described as feeling like thousands of tiny needles are stabbing at them all at once.
Like you're getting a
As if a
tattoo.
fresh image is being constantly tattooed on their skin,
I'm
while
so
at
good.
the same time, a tattoo removal process is happening.
My
While the
God.
tattoo organism is able to move, it seems to prefer spending most of its time on its host's torso, though it has been seen to move around to other parts of the body on occasion.
On the face?
As SCP-021
I can't imagine. On the eyeballs, bro? On your eyeballs? Oh my god. Feel like you're getting a tattoo and a removal at the same time? This is pure agony.
and moves around on the surface of its host's body. It appears to feed on the pigments in the skin. Its favored meal seems to be other tattoos, which it will seek out and devour. Though if none are present, or if it has eaten all of the tattoos on its host, it will
White
begin
marks.
consuming the melanin from the skin instead.
Okay, so I figured the white marks on the first dude was from just, just weird shit, but I guess it's from maybe him eating the tattoo, and that was what's left over, or him eating the pigment of the skin, which turns it to white. Damn, gotta feed.
Melanin is a naturally occurring pigment found in human skin, and after SCP-021 sucks it from its host, it will leave them with permanent skin damage and patches of unpigmented skin that
Damn.
appear similar to that of the skin condition
Oh my
vitiligo.
God.
The feeding itself does not appear to cause the host any pain, and the pigments, whether they are from another tattoo or the natural ones in the skin, will simply disappear as 021 eats them. The pace at which SCP-021 feeds will vary, but it has been observed as being able to clear over half a square meter of skin in roughly 1 hour. One way to prevent SCP-021 from eating all of the melanin present on a human is to quickly add new tattoos of fruits or small animals as a way to continually distract it from turning to the melanin. Thus far, outside of motion, the organism has displayed no elevated intelligence or the ability to communicate. It simply moves and feeds.
So they haven't got into how do you transfer the skin worm, but I'm sure they're going to get to it. I'm just concerned, and I'm wondering, is there like a time limit for him to be on a host? Me saying him meaning the SCP. Like, is it when like maybe he eats all the melon in the person's skin and they're completely white? Would he just like on his own free will jump to a new host? Because the other dude, Mind you, he still had color. Some of it was white, so maybe it wasn't ready. And he physically, maybe it was a blood transfer, got rid of it that way. But let's say like he just didn't do anything and just let the torture go on until it's completely white. Would the skin tag be able to leave without any, way to go around it? Hopefully we get that answered.
SCP-021 is not permanently affixed to the skin of any one host, and in fact, can be transferred back and forth between hosts multiple times. The only way to transfer the organism is through physical contact, though skin-to-skin contact does not guarantee that the organism will take to a new host. In the event that it does, the dragon tattoo appears to swim across the touching skin and will affix itself to the new human host. Skin-to-skin contact in the romantic sense has been shown to be the most reliable method of transfer from one host to another, with a 93% rate of successful transmission. However, as you can imagine, the tattooing sensation that comes along with any movement of SCP-021 means that this particular transfer is extremely painful for all parties involved, and the Foundation has deemed that despite its high success rate, it should only be used when absolutely necessary. Contact between two open wounds has been shown to be an only slightly less effective method, and has become the default means of transferring when the SCP Foundation wants to move SCP-021 from one host to another.
Okay, so it's easy to get rid of. It's not like the dragon's like going against the will of the host, trying to transition them to a new host. So I don't think it has any favorites, so it does suck, but it seems like it could be easily like manageable. Yeah.
Transferring the organism from a deceased host to a living one is possible, though more complicated. SCP-021 appears not to mind when its host organism is no longer alive, continuing to feed on whatever pigments are available to it, and does not seem to suffer any ill effect from the condition of its host.
Perfect, feed them dead bodies.
It is as yet unknown whether SCP-021 could be transferred to another species. So far, the organism has only been willing to move from human to human, though research into the question is ongoing. It's theorized that if SCP-021 is able to exist on a non-human animal, it would only occur in the rarest of circumstances. Unlike most parasites, SCP-021 does offer some small but tangible benefits to its host human. In addition to hosts of the organism appearing to have an improved immune system, research has also shown that the presence of 021 will increase its host's release and reuptake of epinephrine, better known as adrenaline.
Whoa.
It will also decrease the buildup of lactic acid, which is what builds up in the muscles during activity and causes burning sensations and soreness. Combined, these benefits from SCP-021 provide its host with increased strength and confidence, as well as give a heightened pain tolerance during stressful situations.
Well, that's good because he feel like he's going to get tatted every time the freaking dragon moves. So,
not surprisingly, the host of SCP-021 also displays a high level of aggression, though whether this comes from their elevated hormone levels or simply because the organism causes them to be in constant pain is still an unanswered question. The amount of time that this symbiotic relationship can be sustained is typically limited to how long the host can tolerate the unceasing pain of the tattoo moving about their body. The persistent agony that a host of SCP-021 endures has led to multiple hosts having taken their own lives. And in a few rare cases, they have also succumbed to fatal skin infections.
You know what I want to know? What if this SCP goes to a host that is albino? Which means they have no pigmentation. They're completely white. Would he starve to death? Like if we do that, like we feed him to like albino D class, and we put the D class in a room by himself without any other human beings, and let him sit there for God knows a week. Like would the SCP actually die because there's nothing to feed on? If you guys ever thought about that question, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below more than anything else I asked in this video, because I'm really intrigued to see would it actually die, because we're getting towards the end and I don't think it's talking about any ways we could kill it or whatever, so maybe I could be wrong.
Though these were likely the result of open wounds caused by the hosts scratching at their own skin, rather than anything directly attributable to the organism. SCP-021 is currently contained on the body of a D-Class personnel, D-139, who is housed in Standard Detention Cell 217A, and the relative ease with which it can be kept on a human subject's body has led to it receiving the safe classification. Only D-Class personnel are eligible to be a host to SCP-021, and current operating procedure is to allow the organism to live on the same host's body until they expire. The exact nature of what SCP-021 is, as well as its origins, remain a mystery to the Foundation. Attempts have been made to trace the path of its transmission from before its time in containment, and it is hypothesized that the organism could be many hundreds of years old, if not older.
That would make sense.
As evidenced by its low SCP number, 021 is one of the oldest SCPs that the Foundation keeps contained, and it has proven to be a very useful educational tool for new and upcoming researchers as they study this bizarre creature and its existence that occurs entirely within 2 dimensions. Now go and...
Cool. This was a good one. Yeah, this was an interesting one. And they kind of noted something that I never really figured out, but I just assumed, but it was never confirmed, about the lower the number of the SCP, the older it is. I thought that was the case until we saw like some weird ones, and we saw like multiple SCPs with that had like number 1. So I kind of figured that might not be the case, but it's cool to see that question get confirmed in this episode. Also, I have a lot of questions for this SCP, but the big one is, what do you guys think about if this SCP hopped on to an albino host? Would he starve to death? Or what would he eat? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. So, yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this reaction as well, too. I had a great time reacting to it. It's always a good time reacting to it with the fam. So, I'm glad that you guys tuned in, and I appreciate it a lot. And if you guys haven't made the jump and sub to the channel, and you made it all the way to the end, I literally don't know what you're doing. You should definitely sub. You obviously enjoy the content if you made it here, and there's going to be more to come, so... it's helping both parties, bro, and it'll be much appreciated. Or a girl out there. So with that all out the way, unfortunately, that concludes today's episode. However, I'll catch you guys on the next one. With